Well, your one goal on any game is to play for a win, no matter who your competitor is. So that was one of the boxes we were able to check. The next one I think is progression in some specific fundamentals that we talked about defensively and in man-to-man, some things that we really wanted to work on. And I thought that we got some great film on it. We did it. We had some good possessions as far as getting in the gaps and being able to get some deflections, but it wasn't consistent enough. And it's probably par for the course for where we're at right now in our maturation. So what we'll do now is just take the film from this one. Tomorrow, obviously, we got to get back on the floor quickly because we've got a quick turnaround and with K-State on Thursday. But yeah, I would say we got some things accomplished. But you know how that is. Once you get that film out, you figure out what really happened.
So what about minutes for other players?
That was obviously a big plus for us. We had made a decision officially today to redshirt Logan, Allen's brother, and or else he would have played. But we just felt like it was in his best interest for the long term to get for his first year to be more involved. And this year he would have probably been a spot minute guy with the depth of the roster. So that was well received by him and his family, and brother included. So that was another thing that we discussed. But as far as the other guys that got off the bench, I think it was good to get some film. I thought Emmanuel did a really good job at the point guard spot, not just from shooting the ball, but from controlling the game, pace of play, the things that we wanted to do, getting us into sets and so forth. So it was good to see him kind of get the minutes so we could see what he had to do as well. And there was a couple other guys like even Tyler, who's been playing. I think he needed to get the lid off of the jar with the shooting, and I think he knocked down 4 out of 9 threes, which is a hefty percentage, and we'll take that going forward for sure. And we shot the ball the way that I wanted to with the type of shooting. So we did some things offensively to keep them in the parameters that we wanted, not diving too deep into that, but we wanted inside touches before we let it go. And I thought that ball coming out to them rather than coming from the side paid its dividends tonight.
Emmanuel has a pretty good idea of how to get the ball into the post a lot.
Yeah, he's a good post entry guy. He went against a team obviously that didn't have the length and the athleticism that some of the teams we played against so far, but he also didn't have a lot of minutes to an opportunity to do that. So tonight he did what I expected him to do, and now he's going to have a tougher challenge with doing it against superior defense. So, but he definitely has been trained in that area.
Well, give me your thoughts on Allen's game tonight.
Well, since he's sitting here, I'll just be all positive. But no, on a serious note, Allen is a work in progress like every other player on this team. And the great thing about him is, he's a willing participant in his own education. So we talk about a lot of different things, from nutrition to off-court stuff to all of the technical aspects of the game and things that he's got to do to improve and start using his body to be more of a force for us. I think that he's really figuring out who he is as a basketball player as he goes forward. A lot of these guys train and do individual skill development and so on and so forth, but he's going to have to go against pros eventually. So he's got to learn how to play against that type of player. So that's what he had a chance to do with those two guarantee games, and it was enlightening. And so now what we got to do is hold serve. But anytime we have a chance to, like with a team like Calvary, and I want to thank them for coming out and helping us, and then also our teams in conferences where he's going to have to, really be a dominant force for us.
So the coaches gave me a job tonight. It was to take the rebounds, obviously, because they didn't have the length, the size. So my job was basically to take the rebounds and run the floor. So I think I did a good job on that, and the defense, transition defense, and helping on the drive, stunts, everything like that.
We wanted him to share the ball a lot as well. He had 8 assists, so I think that was something else that we wanted him when they they doubled him or did some things defensively, then he's got to find that make that extra pass, and he did a good job with that with 8 assists tonight.
You know, in school history, there's never been a triple-double.
He was close.
Close.
Well, I think that's something I can target. I'm just gonna give my all for that. You know what I'm saying? That's another goal to add on my list. That's it.
So, how'd you feel about sharing the ball with everybody? You got 8 assists.
Honestly, I'm a type of player that gives the ball, like sharing the ball, like I used to do back in Belgium, and it's pure joy when I see my guys scoring after I passed them the ball. So it was pretty good. I'm just used to it. It's marvelous, like Coach said all the time.
And how do you feel about your brother, redshirt?
Honestly, I think it was the best decision for him, and he took it pretty well. I took it pretty well, and I think he's gonna be amazing. He got time. He can work on his game, on his shooting form, everything. So I just can't wait for him to be better.
You all talked about a program for redshirt. How do you do the redshirt?
Well, it's the same thing we did in New Mexico State. We like to get a collection of guys, once we've started to coach them, that we think it would be more beneficial for them to have an extra year, when instead of just going through in 4 years, we thought, man, this kid, if he had that, once you get to be a senior and you look up and you go, man, if he had one more year, there's a group of guys that we felt like fit into that category. And so I think the guys that we're redshirting right now will be have a chance to be engaged in the community a little bit more, and campus community, and then also as they grow and they develop, I think it's a great recruiting tool to show how we work with guys off the court that aren't necessarily playing in games. They have a kind of a different program. They're obviously very much involved with the team and as far as meals and things like that, but their weight training is a little bit different, their nutrition is a little bit different, and then their individual skill development is a little bit different. So it's almost like a separate program. It's a development squad within the team. So now we've identified 5 guys that will do that.